What is up, YouTubers? It's Lucas, and we are back with another episode of our 60 journey. Alright, so if you're into astrology, if you believe that the planets somehow affect you, and before you decide, yes, they affect me or no, they don't, I want you to take a moment to really think about the people in your life and how they affect you. Okay, you're one person. Take the top 5 people around you. How do they support you? How do they lift you up? How do some of them maybe occasionally tear you down? Okay, now take those 5 people and give them 5 people. And their 5 people to 5 people, and on and on and on, until eventually, what do you have? Mass collective consciousness, right? We're all affected by the people that are in our lives. And because, as you draw the circle, the web, the bush, the tree, out bigger and bigger and bigger, ultimately we're all affected by each other, right? And we're all living here on Earth together. So Earth is affecting us. Its environment, its seasons, its earthquake activity, right? There's been some earthquakes recently going on in the world. And the Earth is affected by what? Its closest neighbors, its friends. We can call those the planets. The planets are affected by the sun. The sun is affected by other stars. The stars are affected by the galaxy, right? There's this giant web of connection that we are all a part of. There's constant flux of energy. And I'm getting chills talking about this. And I'm bringing this up today because Mercury's in retrograde. And while I do agree that the planets do affect us and astrology is part of who we are, that to me is the nature of it all. It's the nature. But on top of nature, what is there? Nurture. And in my mind, it's half and half. It's half nature and it's half nurture. And the reason I'm bringing this up today is because I want to remind everyone that how you choose to move yourself through relationships, how you choose, cat hair, how you choose to move inside the web of connectivity with everybody is half of the journey. And the camera died. I got a little message when I was like 20 seconds into that last video and I was like, oh, it'll be fine, I'll make it. No, it died. That's half the journey, is the nature versus the other half, which is the nurture, our choice, our ability to move through our environment, right? You go hiking, okay? You're hiking in an area that's rocky and it has all these stickers everywhere and tree branches and animals and God, the cat hair. Cat hair. I was just laying on my bed with the cat, so there's like cat hair, I'm sure, all over me. It's like slowly coming down. And how we choose to move through that path is up to us. You can choose to walk down the rocky path. You can choose to walk down the narrow path. You can go through the bushes. You can go through the shrubs. You can go and walk by that animal. If you want to go walk by a mountain lion, good for you. Make your choices. But know that every path that we take will have a price. It will have its own set of suffering, its own set of blessings, its own rewards. Right? I balanced that out. Price, reward, suffering, blessings. Balance it out. Every path has its list of what comes with it. And as we're here looking at Mercury in retrograde, when Mercury is in retrograde, in case you're not familiar, I'm going to be really succinct here with what I tell you, but it's about communication. It's about details. It's about the hearing and receiving versus the processing and the responding. And it's how we choose to move through those things that really defines how it is we function through these tribulations. And right now, part of Mercury in retrograde is that there are tribulations with relationships and communication. And I feel like you have to keep actively moving forward with, I know that this is a trial right now. I know there is suffering beside me. However, how can I find the silver lining? How can I find the blessings? How can I find peace, serenity, joy, calmness, abundance while I'm going through this path? Because this is what we've been given. And with your relationships right now, what I'm encouraging you to do is take extra time to slow down. Slow down your breath cycle. Slow down how fast you respond. You know, in America, and I feel like it's not just America, it is a lot of the world that is well developed, we have gotten into a habit of moving at a certain pace, knowing that we can go on Amazon.com and we can order something that will be here in 2 days. We can go to a drive-thru and order food that will show up in under 5 minutes. We are able to read our text messages and know that someone already read that. We can instantly respond to Facebook posts and get our likes, our loves, our comments, our views, our shares, our energy out instantly. Now my mom's calling, so it's a second break. Sweet Lord Jesus. Like, this video is in 3 parts now. I'm not sure I've ever had a video in 3 parts up until this point. Knock on wood with the ever. And so, my cat is inside that playing. And so, what I'm talking about today is nature versus nurture, and choosing to be above what it is that's happening around you, and reminding people to stay present with their responses. Not their reactions, their responses, because there's a lot of energy coming up right now in the world that I'm just witnessing. I'm witnessing people say things to me. I'm witnessing how people are taking what I'm saying to them. And there's this kind of energy that's being facilitated of people misinterpreting what it is we mean and us taking what it is they gave differently than they intended, right? And this is a common theme. I think this is something we should all work on every day. But it's especially pertinent right now during this Mercury retrograde period that we focus on how are we checking in with ourselves? What is our message? And what vocabulary can we use to really facilitate the information so that they assimilate it well? It's so important. It's so important right now. So I need everyone to know that. And beyond that, I want to remind everyone that we have to keep in mind and bear witness to the fact that all of these transitions we go through are always temporary. That's the message. It's temporary. It's not permanent. You know, and that's something that I personally have been working on in my life, is reminding myself every single day with everything from stress to traffic to relationships, that everything is temporary. And I think that many people have a hard time embracing that, because depending on your belief system, even if you get something like a house, you buy a house, it's your forever home. At some point in your life, whether it be because you get old and retire and want to get a smaller place, whether it be because you live throughout your whole life in that house and then pass away, at some point there's going to be separation. And as Yoda says in Star Wars, attachment leads to jealousy, which is the shadow of greed. And one of the 7 deadly sins is greed. And I think for us now here, we have to remind ourselves that it's not, ooh, wow, that's a tick. It's not healthy to be attached to anything. Your diet, your spiritual views. How many times do spiritual views change? Even if you're like a devout Christian and you read this book, and this is your law, at some point, you're going to read that verse again and go, I'm interpreting that differently today than I did last time. Such a mess. Uh-oh, where'd it go? There it is. And my cat, I swear, is like, she's been inside that hutch all day because I broke the glass once. I don't remember how it broke, like doing something. I feel like something fell or something, who knows. But the attachments that we have they lead to so many issues. I had a woman call in just now. Like, I took a call from my mother, I took a call from my psychic job, and this woman calls in and she just laid out this list of issues with this person. And these are big issues. Like, they're not casual, you know? It's not like he's just exaggerating, not washing the dishes. I mean, emotional, physical abuse, cheating, like, and she's just going, I feel so blank, 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 like I have to fix him. And guys, if you're attached to someone to the point that you feel the need to fix them, you are no longer their parent. Well, you are no longer their lover. You are now their parent. And it's not our job to parent our friends. It's not our job to parent our coworkers. It's not our job to parent our lovers. They have to walk their path. And sometimes, most times, the best way to do that is to allow them the space. You know, and if you're not married to them and you haven't made a lifetime commitment, and even then, I'm still kind of like a little bit unsure about that. Like, you know, if something comes to the point where it's affecting your health and you are declining because of that, it just doesn't make sense to attach to it because of the past. And that's so hard to take in for people. You know, and I think there's this energy of, I have to stay here, I have to do this, I have to. Sometimes the best way to heal yourself and to heal someone else is to walk away and know that they might come back. You know, give them the space and the opportunity to heal. And that way they can come back to you and they can be in a better place. And they can be more grounded and more sure of themselves. Because we all need sureness, right? And it's like this year, I've not been teaching. I've subbed occasionally. And I've done some private lessons. It was the willingness to walk away from my jobs and go, you know what? I don't need to teach this year. I'm going to go and make my primary job, my emotional intuition, my healing, and Uber. And I'm going to support myself with these 3 jobs. And I'm going to be happy and satisfied. And it taught me how much I do love teaching. And how I do want to teach again someday. Is that going to be in August? Is that going to be in 10 years? Is that going to be 30 years from now? Is that going to be in a week? I do not know. Because I'm not attaching to it. And knowing that when I'm supposed to go back, and when I'm meant to be back, and it's in the divine order, it'll show up. All right, that was a lot. This was a lot today. It was kind of like really, really focused, and then towards the end we kind of spurt around, and that happens. There's a message, see? Time to get off. All right, guys, God bless all of you. Really take heed to your patience, to your response, to your breath. Like, be there, be present with it. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Hit subscribe, hit like. See you guys later.